This is Catherine, and you have found yourself here to Fish Out of Water Tarot, where I am delighted to do readings that will guide you to your sense of well-being, the parts of you that are perhaps detached, not able to receive love. And so because of that, I'm juicing up on the full moon energy from last night. We had a lot of readings yesterday morning, and you can find that it's called the Full Moon Party, and that is the start of this mission. But I am always contacted by people who want to know what's going on with a no contact person, or if they should go back to that X. So I picked our Moonology deck, the Oracle deck, to do our readings this morning. And the readings are primarily for people who have that big question. Should I go back to my X? Should I go forward? So welcome. Rishika is here, my faithful assistant, to help you to facilitate today's readings. I am doing wonderfully today, Rishika. I was going to come on live last night and do a second reading, and the universe said, Catherine, that's not such a good idea. Best to rest. So I am bringing our delicious energy to the collective today. And good morning, Janice. I am so glad to see that you are here. Hold on just for a second. Okay, perfect. And so I am here to answer questions for you. And as a thank you for your gratitude and what it is like for you to feel grateful for something that's going on in your life. So Rashika, if you have an ex that you want to be with, I'm happy to draw a card for you. All right. If you have a question about an ex, absolutely. And Janice, if you would like to have a reading today, an ex does not have to be a romantic ex. An ex could be even a family member who has cut you off. So if you're in no contact with someone and you would like to have a reading about that, I would be delighted to do that for you. All right. So the very first thing I'm going to do is remind you that in order to get your reading today, you need to add something that you are grateful for. What is going well in your life? What do you appreciate the universe for doing? Okay. So whoever wants to have the first reading today, go ahead, give me your gratitude, and ask that question about someone in your past who you would like to reconnect with. All right, so I'm getting my cards shuffled up and ready. Oh, me too. Thank you, Janice. Janice sent me a picture also of the beautiful moon hanging over the west coast, the ocean in California. I miss California. I used to live out there, and so I appreciate that. Janice, would you just like to have a general card for someone you're in no contact with? I'm happy to do that for you, my friend. Who is it that you think you should go back to? If there's someone you want to know about, I'm happy to do the reading for you. All I need is that gratitude. What is it that we're grateful for? Thank you to Janice and Rashika for their contribution. Hi, Emily. Welcome to the reading. Okay. All right, very good. So Emily, all you do is add your gratitude, and I'm happy to give you that reading. So Rashika, all right, the full moon blessings. All right, we will get to that. Definitely. The purpose of today is to acknowledge somebody that you want to reconnect with. So Janice has her dad. Okay, so what is it that Janice can most be blessed with today? The purpose of the full moon is to release something. And of course, we don't want to release our dad, especially if they're still here on the planet. But if there's a no contact in place, let's see what it is that the universe has for you, Janice. So let's look at this beautiful card, full moon in Gemini. The answers that you need are coming. So Janice, when I look at this picture, these pictures here, I really feel that this Gemini energy is important for you. It's like you have an evil twin that really causes you so much difficulty. Within your own being, you have positive, loving, gentle, that mindset and that nature. And on the other side of your personality, there's a bit of a sharpness and a bit of hurt feelings. And so a lot of times when you're trying to recover from childhoods that were a little challenging, there is that is living within your spirit, where you are. I'm just going to see if I can lower this just a tiny bit so we can see better. Okay. So when you are really seeking answers from the divine, and you are definitely wanting to be at your best self. So the full moon today wants you to realize that you need to accept both sides of your nature. That if you try to cancel the part of you that's a little snarky or a little sharp, that will put you into a terrible dilemma, because it's impossible to lose the part of our personality that is hurt. We have things that we carry from our childhood that have hurt our feelings. And a lot of times that can flavor all of your future relationships. In fact, Janice, you may have noticed that with men, you find yourself responding as if they were your father. Isn't that interesting? Because if you're carrying hurt feelings towards your dad, this was very true of my life. My dad passed away in 2011. And my first emotion when I heard that he had passed away was relief. He had been such a difficult person for everyone in my family, and I never truly felt safe on the planet while he was still walking around. So the legacy of that has made me mistrustful of men, and rather than dislike that about myself, what I'm realizing is that it's simply part of myself. So the answers you need are coming with your dad, and the only thing you're being asked to do, and Janice, this may not be easy to hear, my friend, but your mission is to find things you're grateful about your dad. Now, it may be difficult. Maybe the only thing you can thank him for is that his sister was nice to you. Maybe your aunt loved you, but they are related. So every day you could say, thank you, universe, that my dad had such a great sister. Because as you build gratitude around your family member who has hurt you, you are going to get answers that you need for restoring that relationship. You don't want to cut off your family member unless it's necessary. When could it be necessary? Because there might be some mental illness there. There might be some challenges that you cannot fix. Going to your inner being and trusting that will bring you the guidance that you're needing. Okay, Janice? So I'm just going to go to, hi, Bree, welcome. You have been here before. I think I remember your name. I'm just going to go back here so that I can keep track. Okay, so the next reading is going to be for Bree. Now, if this resonates with you, don't be surprised if some of these readings actually resonate with you and it's not your card, because birds of a feather flock together, and people that want peace of mind about their ex do come to my readings frequently. Hit the thumbs up and let us know that you are in the place of wanting release something at this full moon that will make a big difference for you. Okay, so Miss Bree, let's draw you a card. Hold in your mind the person or situation that you are questioning. Is it an ex that you want to go back to? Is it a place you want to move back to? What is it that you're wondering? Let's take a peek. Oops, that whole deck wanted to come. Oh my goodness, Bree. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so this is a very clear directive, isn't it? Nothing good will come out of this situation. So this is a hard no. So anyone right now, let's say you just turned this channel on and you're thinking, should I go back to my ex? This might be your answer. There is a quote that says, an ex is an ex for a reason. Have you heard that? And another good quote is, some people come into your life for a season, some come for a reason, and some come for forever. So I feel, Bree, this might even be a confirmation of what your meditation showed you this morning. That in this clarity, you have seen that there's something about this situation that is not working for you. This could simply be a timing miss. Perhaps this situation or the person could be correct for you at a different time. But for right now, it's looking like this full moon is an opportunity to pour out anything in your life that's not working. You can do it on a piece of paper. You could just make a list of all of the things that have been happening in the last 5 to 6 months that are compromises and that you've given too much of your heart away. Then you can do a burning ceremony and actually burn that paper. You could put it through a paper shredder. You could bury it in a flower pot. But the idea of creating a concrete gap between what it is you thought you wanted and what it is that you really do want. I will tell you guys, if you ever get a reading and you're wondering what's going on, what is she talking about, be sure to Gmail me, and I'm happy to answer a question for you, because this no contact stuff, or when you're trying to step away from something that's not good for your life, it can be very challenging. Okay, Bree, but it does look like a pretty clear hell no here. So take that to heart, whatever that means to you. Trust your inner being and your guidance to draw you forward. All right. And so, Lady Death, welcome. I'm so glad to see you here. And you were here yesterday. Sunshine, hard no. Yeah, that was really, it really was a hard no. And some these, I can count on this beautiful deck. It does not pull punches. Okay, so Ambika, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. As soon as I read something that you're grateful for, I am happy to draw a card. Lady Death, I love the person I see in the mirror. How wonderful. Thank you. I am learning about that every day. There's so many layers. I want to bring this forward so I can show you guys. This is one of the signs that I have right here on my reading table to remind me that it's not fair to hold people to a standard where they are not able to be broken. We are all broken in one way or another. We all have heartbreaks. We all have disappointments. Sometimes it could be a place that you live, that you needed to move, and your heart still feels sad. There's a broken part inside of you. And if two broken beings come together, guess what? It's going to be a problem. And it's so important that we learn to accept ourselves. Lady Death, did you know that this full moon in Aquarius, it's plucking the wounds within us of self-acceptance. It's forcing us to look at the parts of ourselves that we don't like, our bad habits. So for you to give me that gratitude today, where you love the person you see in the mirror, cracks and all, touches me. Okay, so hold in your mind, Lady Death, a person, a place, or an event that's an anchor. It's holding you back. Okay. Hi, Miss Washington. Hi, Vasunda. What you need to do is add something that you're grateful for, something that is going right. And I'm happy to draw you a card. It's very good energy for detaching from past love or things that did not work out. So, Lady Death, here is your reading. So, the balsamic moon, time for a healing. So this card for me, Lady Death, is such a merciful card. The universe is speaking to you that this gap that you're feeling right now between you and this person, between you and an idea, something that's in the past that won't let you go. There's something that you're needing to deal with within your own heart so that your magnetism shifts, so that you can begin to attract better quality people, places, or experiences. This time for a healing. Under the energy of this full moon, you are blessed. It's very timely. A little bird just crashed against my window. I mean, gently. It didn't fall to the ground. But I always notice nature, Lady Death. And I feel like you might have had something happen that could have been very dangerous, that perhaps you had an accident, or perhaps you came real close to making a mistake in a relationship. I call it a close call, but I don't take for granted that bird that flew right over here. So I would invite you, Lady Death, to take out a piece of paper. You know, I always say that. Take out a piece of paper and write a letter to the whoever has hurt you in the past. Whoever you are obsessing about, or you feel if they hadn't have done that, I would be better off. Let's address that energy, write it out on a piece of paper, and then create a ceremony or a ritual with that piece of paper, and set it into flame or bury it as a symbol of your desire to use the healing that's available during this full moon. Now, I also notice this is a crescent moon here, meaning the new moon, I think for you, that it's about 2 weeks from now is the new moon. So all that you release right now, you're going to be plowing up the ground for the new moon to plant something for the future. It does look, if this is about an ex, I would say the energy looks positive. Maybe not to reconcile, but certainly to bring peace and acceptance around the situation. Okay, so let me go back here and we'll see who's doing the thank yous. The thank you people, you are going to get your reading today. You guys all know that I love gratitudes. Why? It's not about Catherine, it's about filling our live stream with love, gratitude, and acceptance. Okay, Miss Washington, I see you. Asuru, welcome. I would love to do a reading for you. Leslie, I love that. I love life force energy. Boy, you and me both. I went through a health crisis a few years ago, and believe me, I adore life force energy. So, Miss Leslie, hold in your mind, who is the person? What is the circumstance? Is it a hard yes or a hard no? Do you want that X back, that X situation, or is moving forward in the future to your best benefit? Okay, so Miss Leslie, your commitment is being tested. Very interesting card. So let me look at it. What strikes me about this is all these clouds. So there's a lack of clarity. All right, so the moon energy is trying to peek out of these cloudy situations to bring you to a commitment. But you know what? This is not a commitment to a human. This is a commitment to your divine being. This is the way, Leslie, that I understand life force energy. I watch and listen to Abraham Hicks. I've read a few of their books, and they teach that at the core of your being is this divine energy, that the divine part of us, our soul and spirit combined, are bigger, smarter, brighter, happier than our personality. When you look in the mirror and you see your human self, that's just a fraction of who you are. This can cause us all kinds of trouble. May I tell you why? How can you love, excuse me, Murphy says, good morning. Have you ever wondered how it's possible to love someone else's inner being and their sweet best self and still have to deal with their humanity, which may hurt your feelings from time to time. Abraham teaches that the only time you feel terrible about something is because you're not holding the same perspective as your highest self. So, my dear friend Leslie, I wonder if you're here for the first time. I don't remember your name, but you're being called to see how committed you are to yourself. All right. So, as you go through this next couple weeks before the new moon, look at the areas in your life where you are confused. Where do you need clarity? I invite you to do a YouTube search for Abraham Hicks and just listen to a few of their videos, because you will find that the closer you come to understanding your personal relationship with the divine inside of you, your clarity is going to jump into focus. And this is true for everyone watching this reading. And there's every one of us is what they call a blended being. You are not just your personality. Thank God, I'm a double Scorpio. I can be as snarky as anything, especially when I'm stressed. So if I stay committed to myself, I'm just going to soften my tone and soften my approach for the good of everyone that knows me. Anybody that knows me now is cheering. Yay! Catherine's getting soft. Yay! Okay, moving forward. Hayasuru would love to do a reading. Vasundhara would love to do a reading. All I need is that gratitude, and my voice is your gift. Okay, so Ms. Washington, I love my kindness. Thank you so much. Being kind is a God-given gift. And if you're a kind person, why is it that you can attract people who take advantage of that? What happens there? Some of it is from our growing up years and the way we watched our families deal with problems. But right now, Miss Washington is having, when I was young, they would call it hung up, that you get hung up on somebody and they're not that interested in you, but you're hung up on them, meaning that your energy has come together with their energy, and that is like a knot, and it hurts when you can't get the attention that you want. Now, Miss Washington, if you've been watching, you know my deck does not mess around. And by the way, let me show you what deck I'm using. Totally honoring the blue moon. It's a super moon, and that is why the energy is still strong today, even though yesterday was the rising of that full moon. So, Ms. Washington, I can't wait to see what the cards have for you, my dear. Okay. All right. So, Ms. Washington, this is almost the same picture. It is. It's the same. Okay. So, you guys, this kind of coincidence to me is not a coincidence. These are identical. And I just chose this minute to show this box. So, Ms. Washington, this is especially powerful for you. Believe in the impossible. So, at the moment, your impossible is to get this person out of your mind, right? It's impossible for you. You are completely captivated. Your attention, your love, your life force is pinned on something that is out of focus. All right. So the impossible that you're being challenged to look at and to believe in is that you can separate yourself, that you can separate yourself completely from what you used to believe is true. Does that mean that it's over forever? I can't tell you that today, because to you, you might have seen this card and thought, oh, good, I'm going to keep believing because the card says believe in the impossible. But the reality is that the impossible is, hang on, let me think of how I want to say this. In a really healthy connection, where the two humans are lined up together and they're making it work, both humans have a relationship with their own inner being they have a relationship with their core values that is separate from one another. When two humans who are aware of their own skills in keeping a relationship together, when they are aware of the responsibility, how to treat one another, being respectful to one another, that is a relationship that's sustainable. It will last. However, if the two personalities are leaning on each other, they become almost divine to one another. That will never work, because a human was never designed to carry another human. Human relationships are designed to be collaborations where each one has a spiritual or energetic reality that feeds them, creates intimacy ideas, creates the desire to trust. So right now, Ms. Washington, the obsessing that you're doing about your person, the grief that's washing over you every day, that's a sign that you're out of touch with your divine self. It may feel impossible to trust the divine with this situation. It may be, but without complete commitment to your own well-being, you won't know what is the best thing to do. So many times when people come to me for advice on relationships, first thing I'll do, Mrs. Washington, is I have a blog that is called breakupcandy.com. So check out Breakup Candy, because it gives clues on how to maximize your breakup. If you two get back together, it would have to be brand new. It would be a fresh start. You cannot go backwards. So the only thing you can do is to create a new reality for yourself, not with another person, not with the last person, but with your divine self. All right? Not an easy message to get, because grieving a past relationship is never easy, and I don't want to make light of it. In the description box, there is something called the soulmate generator. It's a tool that will help you. So do take a look at it. Anyone who feels touched, they just need some more support, please email me at tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And Rashika, would you mind putting that into the stream for folks? I do have a private manifesting group where I bring all my friends from Fish Out of Water together so that I can teach them things. And if you're interested in joining, it's in WhatsApp, and all you need to do is email me and let me know. Okay, so let's go forward. Looking for thank yous. Hi, Asuru and Leslie, welcome. As soon as we get a thank you. All right, Asuru, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for today? Hi, Ariana, welcome. What is going well in your life? Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Oh, Leslie, I'm so very glad that you're Esther and Abe fans, because they are so right. If you want, they have a wonderful video. You can YouTube search it. Are you ready? It's called Uncheatable Uponable. Let me say that again. Uncheatable Uponable, because they say that nobody can own another human, and that your crush that you feel when you very first get together, that's not intended to last forever. It's intended to shift into rapport and long-term friendship. Isuru, I love me. I love you too, Isuru. That's a wonderful thing to love. Totally cool. So Isuru, hold in your mind your situation, your breakup, your person. What is it that you're feeling disconnected from? Let's use the magical power of the blue full supermoon. I'm so glad I remembered I had this deck for today. And let's see what your answer is. Okay, Isuru, what's going on for you, my friend, is that you are looking at things too narrowly. There's this problem that you're coming here to me today. that you are so focused on some tiny little detail. See how this arrow is pointing at that tiny little piece of the moon? It's so tiny. And so something in your view of your person is needing an expansion. Your friends and family may have been telling you things. They may be saying, "Why are you with that person?" Your friends and family may be actually glad that you're not with this person anymore. This reading, I feel like this card is for more than one person watching. So, anyone who your family and friends are either pulling away from your life, or they're already saying to you, "Look, you can do better than this." This is a card around that energy because something in you is not seeing the full picture. So, Isuru, here is your advice. Write down on a piece of paper, make 2 columns. On one side, write everything that you love about the situation or about the person. This could even be a job, where you're divided and you don't know whether to go or stay. On one side of the paper, write everything that you like, everything that goes well. And then on the second side of the paper, and this is private, you don't need to tell anyone, but write down the truth about what is breaking your heart. There's some light that's coming to you because the hurt feelings, being dismissed, being disrespected, being breadcrumbed. You guys know what breadcrumbing is? That's when they like you just a tiny bit and they keep dropping breadcrumbs to keep you in there. But the reality is they are not building a constructive, loving relationship with you. This is a job. The people on the job are not building you up. They're not providing you with the training. They're not giving you the chance to be successful. So in this decision that you're making, trust your friends and loved ones for their advice, and then look carefully at what is working and what isn't working, because once you see the bigger picture, you're going to feel more comfortable, okay? All right, let's move on. Thank you, everybody who's here. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. My beautiful moderator, Rashika, is here to help us keep this flowing along. She will be putting in one question. Hi, Ted. Welcome. Yes, this is a one-card reading. We are happy to pull a card to see whether that X is right for you or whether your current situation is right. Oh, Ms. Washington, aren't the cards wonderful? I always say that the cards do all the work. I just shuffle them up and I put them here, and you can see that I pull a random card. I am grateful. And thank you for your willingness to take a tough message, because we do have, whenever it's time for the full moon, it's always time to give up something that's not working, all right? But this particular one right now, it is a powerful one. So don't be surprised if your emotions are getting stirred up here. It's not easy to say goodbye to things and put them into the past, but it is beneficial for sure. So going forward, hey, Nicole, you are so welcome. Nicole is grateful for these messages. Believe me, I am too. They come through me and not from me. So Nicole, pull into your mind someone that you're wondering about. Who is it? What is it that you wonder? It's haunting you. Should I go? Should I stay? What is the energy? Now, Nicole, before I flip the card, I just have to tell you, I have a lot of pressure in my upper chest and my lower throat. It feels like it's closing, and this is always my sign that someone watching right now has a hard time speaking their truth. So the blue gem, this is a sodalite, the blue crystal supports the ability to speak your truth in love. Okay, so right now, if this is you, if you feel pressure up at the top of your chest, go ahead and put your hand there. Just press and love your body right there, because we have a throat chakra. The energy of speech is in our throat. I used to live with someone, a husband, who he would give me the silent treatment. He never told me what was making him upset. He would just go quiet. And so I became very careful. I was afraid to speak. And honestly, it was as if my voice froze in my throat. It's the best way I can describe it. I just kind of panicked and I wouldn't speak. And that's such a difficult way to live. So anyone who's hearing this, have compassion for yourself. There's reasons that you may not understand why speaking your truth is so difficult, okay? So Nicole, here is your card. All right, let's see. I love this deck. It's a risky deck to use in a one card reading because it's like, holy smokes, what is going on here? So a fiery climax approaches. The Aries energy, and if you're an Aries, any Aries here, or if you're dealing with an Aries, I don't know much about astrology, and there's plenty of people that do. In fact, my favorite teacher out there is called Astrology Guy on YouTube. I love him. In fact, Nicole, I recommend that you go look into Astrology Guy. He said, I'll give my story. When I went and watched the do's and don'ts of dating a Scorpio, I had to crack up because the positive side of a Scorpio, I'm like, yeah, that's me. Yep, that's me. But when he said what makes Scorpio difficult to date, it was like, ouch. He was so correct. So Aries is known as a baby sign. And what that means, if you know a little bit about astrology, is that Aries are not that skilled in processing spiritual and energetic things. They just don't have that at that place in the cycle. They just don't have enough wisdom to operate correctly all of the time. So even though an Aries can make you frustrated, or if you're an Aries, you might be frustrated, the truth is there's just a lot to learn. What we love about the fire signs is their passion, and we love the energy of hanging out with fire signs. But there is a price to pay, because if they respond immaturely, they affect everybody in their world. Now, we know the meaning of the word climax. The word climax also means orgasm, okay? And so the reality is that if you are building something that's working, Nicole, this card may be calling you to release any unforgiveness or resentments that you're holding towards your Aries. And that once you release that energy, that you will notice either this person will feel more comfortable with you and want to be with you, and it will grow to something. If you're already connected, it could be a sign that something wonderful is coming your way. But it could swing either way. But the fact that there's no blue on this card, there's all this red, fiery, passionate energy, it shows that at this time, you have to be ready for it to be prickly. Now, if this is a family member, because I am getting this sense of connection on this card. If it's a family member, it may mean that you need to speak up for yourself. Like when I had that pressure in my throat, that your family member needs to have some boundaries, and that if you don't do that, it's going to become fiery. Personal example, I recently was contacted by someone from my past who wanted to speak to me, connect with me. And I chose to write an email to the person and tell them, these are the 3 things that I want. And I told them, and one of them was that I only want to communicate by email right now. And I want to test the waters and see if they can honor my boundaries without letting them in too close. So if you don't take care of yourself, it just explodes into drama. Okay, so kind of a far-reaching reading for you, Nicole. If you have any questions about it, definitely email me, tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. Thank you, Rishika, for putting that into the stream. Also, anyone that wants a private reading, it's my pleasure to do that for you. I'm at your service. I create videos that are all about you. They're 45 minutes long, and you will get many cards and much clarity. All you do is write your question to me, up to 3 questions, and I'll be happy to provide that. Though how you create a reading with me is all fully explained right here at manifestfaster.com. All right, so going forward, I'm so grateful to each and every one for you guys being here. Let's see who is the next. Thank you, Rishika, for giving you guys an example of a gratitude. I am grateful for all the blessings I receive and love. Isuru, what I do is, Miss T, I'm so glad you're here today. I've been thinking about you. I hope you've been okay. Isuru, what I do is I give a reading for the energy of this moment. I call it like an energy selfie, because right now the full moon is still impacting with energetic waves that I can't explain. So what we do is we take the energy of today, and you then can apply it to a situation in your life. All right. So Miss T, I love my chickens. They've been keeping you alive and optimistic with their eggs. Miss T, I love that. You know what? I would just received a notification just a few days ago, but there's somebody that's creating an oracle deck with chickens, and it's so beautiful. All of the oracle cards have pictures of chickens, and I can't wait to get it. It's actually not published yet. They're still working on it, but it makes me think of you, because people who love their chickens, they love their chickens. So this reading for you, Miss T, we're looking at how to move on, right? And so I know your personal situation, and so hold in your mind what it is that you're wanting clarity on today. Is it, how do we decide? Do we go forward? Do we go backward? When is it time to let something go? Now, every single full moon, we can let a little thing go. We're not supposed to change everything in a minute. That would be not fair at all of the divine. But what we're invited to do is to look carefully at our lives. What can we release during this full moon? I'm so glad to see you, Miss T. Let's see what the wisdom is. Oh, very grateful. New moon in Taurus. Okay. Whenever this card comes up, some people get all excited and they think, oh, I'm going to win the lottery, or someone's going to leave me a lot of money. But in this case, what we're looking at is the white light. Okay. You can be prosperous and abundant in light. And a lot of times when you come out of a dark tunnel, right, you start to re-emerge, and you come out of the darkness into the light. That feels warm, hopeful, and life-giving. This new moon in Taurus, the bull is just so, it reminds me of Ferdinand the Bull, and that there's a fairy tale, isn't there, about a bull who's supposed to be out in the fighting, he's supposed to be like in bullfights, but the truth is that he likes to sniff the flowers. And so I feel for you, Miss T, you have been holding things together, and you've been, can you imagine walking through a swimming pool filled with Jello? Okay, so it's a swimming pool. It's supposed to be water, but it's Jello. And how long would it take to walk across that pool? It's just, excuse me a minute, Murphy. And that kind of reminds me of the journey that you have been on, where you didn't even want to go forward and you felt really stuck. But the truth is, you have trudged ahead step by step. The bull is here to give you the assurance that you're making the exact right progress. To recognize the abundance and the gratitude for the chickens is such a small thing with everything you've been through, but it is a glimmer of light. Between now and the new moon, which is just a couple of weeks away, You are going to be seeing more evidence of light. Don't be surprised if a Taurus person steps into your life, a Taurus that will guide and be friendly to you. But nature, people, there's little glimmerings of hope. They're going to float down across your path. And when that new moon comes, you'll think back and think, oh my gosh, I found $5 laying on the street. One of my chickens started following me around and became friendly. There's something that's going to happen. And I'm drawn to tell you a story, Miss T. I know you guys are so patient with me when I jump into the stories. But there was a lady I lived with in Mexico, and her sister lost her husband. He had passed away, and he loved animals. They lived on a farm. He was the one that loved the chickens. He loved all of it. But she, no. She wanted a clean house. She would not let any cats or dogs in the house. And as long as he took care of those animals, she was at peace. Well, he had a favorite rooster, Diego. He loved Diego. And Diego would come and, sit next to him, crawl up on his lap, cock-a-doodle-doo. They just had a great relationship. Well, do you know when that husband passed away, Diego started to follow the woman everywhere. Diego decided that the woman was his favorite human. And the woman at first was confused, and it hurt her feelings because she didn't want to have that chicken following her everywhere. But the truth was, once she saw the light in the situation, it became hilarious to her that her husband, it was somehow bringing the friendship of this chicken into her life. So that's what I'm saying. There's going to be something that's going to be lighthearted and some real proof to you that you are stronger than you think and that a prosperity of love and good feelings is on your way. Okay, my friend, a beautiful reading for you. Hang in there. Okay, this too shall pass. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Miss T. I feel like Miss T was kind of like an ambassador for us today for anyone that's experiencing a loss that they don't understand. So, my darling Miss T, just the biggest hug for you. Hi, Elisa. Alyssa. It sounds like Melissa. I remember that from the other day. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Suru, I'm grateful that it was helpful for you. And Alyssa, absolutely. Day of Judgment, thank you for lifting us up in prayer. I appreciate that. Jason, Jason, I'm so glad that this is kind of why I love the collective readings, because you could just sit and be in the gallery, just watching the cards come by, and the wisdom that comes forward is for you personally. Birds of a feather flock together, and the right people come to these readings. The cards that I pick are for everyone. Why? Because we all have heartbreak. We all have disappointments. We all have things that are formed against us that could harm us. And the only thing that can really relieve us is a relationship with our inner being, the part of you that's divine. That's the part of you that guarantees peace and joy and love. Those are all called fruit of the Spirit. And as you combine with your higher self and you're willing to allow your personality to simply be quiet for a minute, your heart of love will be what guides you forward. And what Miss Washington was saying earlier about when you're a naturally kind and giving person, it doesn't seem fair that you attract people that take advantage or are mean to you. But you know what? The dark can't help but be gravitated to the light. The people who have darkness in their soul, of course they want to hang out with someone that's filled with love. But if we don't take care of ourselves, we can get overwhelmed, and we could even quiet our beautiful spiritual gift because we're too concerned about what others think. So thank you for that. And Precious Galvin, I love your name, Precious. No, there's nothing has to be romantic here. We do have cutoffs. We have people that we've left. Right now, for example, I needed to move to a new home 2 years ago, and I lived in Mexico, and my heart still breaks a little bit when I think of my friends in Mexico. I always will have a part of me that has a pang of missing it, but it would be a mistake for me to fixate on it and think, oh, it was so much better there. I wish I could go back. And if I thought that every day, that wouldn't be good for my heart. What my heart needs to know is it was time to leave, it was time to finish it and move on. Okay, so going forward, hi, Kane. I love how relaxed you are at the moment. Also, Kane has been here with us for a long time, and I always appreciate when you return. So, Kane, we're taking a look at what can we let go of. So, looking into your life, into it could be a job, it could be a relative, it could be a mindset. But there's something that the universe has been calling you to let go of, and part of you wants to stay in the dark. Part of you wants to stay exactly where you are, but the universe is calling you to let go of something. So let's see, is it time to let go of that something, King? Interesting here. This is the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So what this shows me is that the universe is guiding you, Cain, to change your mindset around, hang on, let me just look and see. I'm noticing the green. Okay, this green is the color of the heart chakra. You are in a time of separation from your heart's desire, whatever that means to you. There may have been a breakup. You may be working in an environment that just simply doesn't satisfy you. You could be living in an environment that doesn't satisfy you. And there's something around your energy that's feeling like giving up. There's a feeling of, I don't know what to do next. So, a time to give. This shows the amazing power of generosity. Okay, so in times when you feel like something's missing and all your energy is kind of begging the universe for something, please move on my behalf. I need something. Please help me. And that we're kind of taking from the universe and we're demanding life change from the universe. And a really great thing to do is to tune into gratitude and start to give. Now, the easiest thing, Kane, go through your closet and go through your dresser drawers and pick out all the clothing that you have not worn in the last year. Now, any of you guys, if you want to wake up and shake up the universe, if you want to get things moving, you cannot beat giving things away that you're not using. It always works. I can't pretend to explain why, but go through. In fact, I do it several times a year. When I buy some new piece of clothing, I bring it home and I give away one because I don't want to grow a crop of clothing. I want to have only clothing that I love and that I want to wear. So if I haven't used something in a year, I take it as a sign to give it away. So, Kane, that's what I want you to take a peek at. Another thing, Pam Grout, my favorite author, she wrote a book called E Squared. Highly recommend. It's a great manifesting book. And she wrote a second book called Thank and Grow Rich. Not Think and Grow Rich, but Thank and Grow Rich, because she believes that gratitude unlocks prosperity. All right. And prosperity can come to you in love, money, or people. So if you're ever in a time when you're not getting enough prosperity in any life category, go through your belongings and pick things out and give them away. But she also talks about an experiment of giving away money because her definition of wealth is, are you ready for this? The ease and freedom to be generous. That is true wealth. That way, if you even have $1, you can give half of that dollar away and you would still be wealthy. And so I challenge you to try it. It feels weird at first, believe me. First time I tried to give money away, it was very weird. But I was walking in the beach of San Diego And I had 5 $1 bills, as many years ago, and I would just ask the divine to show me which people, and then I'd walk up to a stranger and say, I have a blessing for you, and I'd give them $1. The look on their faces is wonderful. They just can't believe that you did it. But that idea of doing the risk, well, I don't have a lot of extra money. That's exactly when you need to give it. You say, well, I don't have a lot of extra love to give. I'm feeling very sad. That's the exact time to give it. When you see someone in the market, meet their eyes, look at them right in their eyes, and just greet them with love as if they are an important person. Being generous with your love will always shake up your love vibe. Okay? What do you think, Kane? Does that fit for your situation, my friend? Don't forget to email me if you have any questions. And also, I do have a private community on WhatsApp, and I would love to have you guys be members. So if you're interested, just email me. I'll let you know how it works. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. I skipped down too far. Okay, let me see here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep track. And okay, Ted World, I see you. Hold on. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have somebody on no contact. Ah, okay. Okay. Miss T. Email me, Miss T, would you please? Because then I can give you, I'll email you back. Okay, I'm just going to refresh here. I'm seeing all of these messages. You guys are just so awesome. This is what happens on these calls. I just get so far behind. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. All right, and do some housekeeping. All right. Okay. All righty. Thank you guys for being patient. I have only one phone and 2 fingers. Okay. Rakesh, I see you. Shilpa, excellence. Great to see you again here. Rakesh, great to see you too. Fantastic. Going down and looking for some new people. Miss T Bikini. Yes, so Miss T, for sure, I can tell you with your no contact person. Yesterday, I did no contact readings for the full moon. You might want to take a look at that live. I did put timestamps in there, but I can tell you that we have to go minute to minute with our no contact people, and if they're willing to have the email, what I did with my person is I said, I'm happy to do email, but it can only be positive stories or what's going right in your life, because I did not want to hear the complaints or what's bad. And so if my person was not willing to follow my boundary, I have to trust the divine to guide me so that I make the proper decisions. But these no contacts are very, very complicated. I'm going to be doing more of those readings, and I do want to support you, my friend, okay? It's just easier for me if it's private, so that I'm not going to come out here and talk about my family members without their permission. It's just, to me, it's just not loving, okay? And so let's see, we're going through here. Green Aventurine, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Quantum E, welcome. And let's see, Ted World. Okay, thank you, Ted World. I didn't see you. I always apologize. I do the best I can. There's so many more people. There's lots of you and only one Catherine. Ted World, we are going to do a reading for you right now, and loves themselves, which is excellent, and a wonderful sense of a good self-concept. So the question that comes to my mind immediately, Ted World, is, are you able to love yourself even if you feel disconnected from someone, or to feel like something's just not right? Those of you who did not get a reading, you're welcome to add your gratitude, and I'm just going to work my way through the list. Every day I do lives, and I will try to get to as many of you as I can. So Ted World, holding in your mind the person that you're curious about, what is it that is split apart, and should you go backwards into the past, or should you go forward into the future? Let's see what we have. A new start is coming. So it looks to me, Ted World, that in your world, there's just been a lot of activity, a lot of upheaval. I know it's a time of the Mercury retrograde right now, which I don't know too much about astrology, but there is a time when communication is disrupted. And Miss T, this might be an indicator for you too, that it's just the communication is disrupted. Sometimes you can send an email to someone and they don't get it, and you never know. I want to bring this into the picture for you, Ted World, because, oopsie, oh, I'm so sorry. The lizard is a beautiful animal. It brings us so much wisdom because when a lizard has its tail cut off, what happens is it grows a new one and a fresh start. It's able to regenerate its own tail. And this message for me is always about the hope that comes with something new. This is not the energy of going backwards. This is the energy to accept that there's part of you, part of your heart that was cut off, whether the person decided to cut you off or if the relationship naturally stopped. If this was about a work situation, you might have gotten displaced at work, downsized. But there's a brokenness here that needs to be addressed. And the regeneration is not regenerating a piece of our body, it's regenerating a piece of our soul. This time right now that's coming in this next 2 weeks is a chance for you to do a bit of an audit, to do a bit of soul searching. What is it that you think is missing in your certain circumstances right now? Write it out on a piece of paper. These are the things that are missing. And then look at your humans in your life and see how many of your friends and family are meeting these important needs for you. Anytime we're looking at the past and we're hoping that a past situation is going to fix us, most times it is not. An X is an X for a reason, Ted World. Hang on, I have to have a sip of tea. An X is an X for a reason. And so for many of us, when we're in the gap, this looks like a portal, doesn't it? And there's nothing in there, it's empty. So as you step into this next chapter of your life with trust and with hope in what the universe will bring you, you're going to experience that fresh start. Take off the backpack of all the experiences that you need to leave behind and allow yourself to move forward, okay? So let's going for here, Archangel Epil, fish out of water. Is that a Pisces? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which you're asking about, Archangel. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your presence. I love how the message is out there. Thank you so much. Okay, so Archangel Apple, I love how the message is out there. You know what? When I'm picking up in the energy of your gratitude is this idea of the energy of discernment. Discernment is a wonderful spiritual energy that helps us see what is right for us, what is wrong for us. And discernment cannot be picked by someone else. For example, when somebody comes into my stream and they're discerning that what I'm doing is not right, what they need to realize is it's not right for them. Their own discernment is to turn off my channel. But you can't have discernment for someone else. And when you're in a no contact, and I have family members now that they don't want to talk to me right now. And I am learning, I'm 71 years old, and I've had a long life of learning that if you have two humans who are wounded, they've cracked, they've had heartbreak, right? When you look at Miss T's situation, everybody send Miss T love, would you? Miss T has gone through so much loss and so much disappointment. This is her. And the energy of love and healing is gluing her back together. But her relative, who is in no contact, they're also cracked. And there's probably a couple of other beings in her life that are cracked also. And this makes life difficult. Then she has her wonderful, beloved husband who passed. And so if we take him and we add him to this mix on top, there's no cracks. Why? Because when you croak, you know how Abraham Hicks says that. I love that. When you croak, your spirit rises out of your being, and the human part of you is left behind. Your spirit is never cracked. Your divine spirit is whole and loving and filled with hope for you. But when you have to have a bunch of cracked people around you, life can be difficult. So that is the message that I want to keep putting out there. So, Archangel, hold someone in your mind who is in the situation of a no contact. Maybe they passed away and you can't contact them. Maybe you moved or they moved to a different country and you're no longer in contact. Let's see what can be released during this full moon. Okay, so Archangel, adjustments are required. What does this mean? It could mean that in your living situation right now, wherever you're living, it could be really not right for you. You could be in a home that's either too noisy, the lighting isn't good, the neighbors are not a good fit, but that immediately came to me that some kind of adjustments are required. If you need to be where you are and you cannot leave that place right now, what you're wanting is to look around and see where you can bring light. If you do feng shui or if you know anything about it, you can Google it now. Everything's on Google. But you can put crystals in certain parts of your home. You could ring chimes in your home. You can change the art. You can change many things in how you arrange and adjust your home that will brighten the energy of your life. Another thing that I think of for you, Archangel, is Tai Chi. There's some wonderful YouTube videos, and it's gorgeous to do the quieter martial arts that are body related, but they teach you how to adjust yourself by adjusting your body. Another thing, yoga. But now let's go to the relationship angle. Somebody is being hard-hearted in your situation, and somebody is being intolerant and they don't want to be a team player. And in your opinion, they need to adjust. I totally relate and I love that. I mean, I don't love that it's happening, but I do admire your ability to see the truth for what it is. Now, here's your answer. You can only adjust yourself. I'm so sorry to say that. No matter what you say to the other person, they're going to dig their feet in. You can only adjust yourself. Now, in the description box, there are a few different resources that I created to help people adjust themselves. The first one that might be helpful is called the Complaint Cure, but there's also the Soulmate Generator that just helps us reprocess what it is we are adjusting in our own personality. Is a soulmate a romantic partner? Could be, but soulmates are also family members, friends, even doctors and teachers. If you look back over your life and you think about the people that were easy, the people you had almost an instant rapport, people that may be in your life for a reason, some are there for a season, some you keep forever as friends, but the people where you don't have to make a lot of adjustments, those are your soul family. That's your soulmates. There's several of them. Trust me. For some people, a tarot reader becomes a soulmate because in it, for reasons I cannot explain, when the people read the cards, I feel like they're talking to me. There's a channel called Scorpio Ascending, and the reader is Sunshine. And I'm telling you, you guys, whenever I listen to her Scorpio reading, I know it's me. You guys know I love white feather tarot. I highly recommend you go right over to her channel because her readings are spot on for me as a Scorpio. I feel like she could be saying, "Well, Catherine, are you listening?" So that is what I would call a soulmate energy. I know she's for me, and I know I can trust how I feel when I'm listening to her. So the adjustments that are required for you are ongoing. Don't let that discourage you. I mean, we'll be adjusting ourselves till we croak. And I like when Abraham Hicks, when Esther says, when you croak, you get to the other side and you're like, oh, for God's sake, what in the world was I so worried about? What was I worried about? Everything always works out one way or the other. And the older you get, the more you know that's true. Okay, so big reading there, Archangel. I hope that it's deeply impactful for you. Oh, you got muted for saying God is real, peace and love to be in the hearts of everyone. I'm sorry for that. I don't know what happens. Sometimes some stuff comes into my stream that is not my my plan. Part of being on YouTube is that so many things come into the stream that I don't have control of. Okay. Okay, wonderful. All right, good. Rashika, excellent. Kane, I received that gratitude. Miss T, you are so welcome. These readings, remember, it may feel like it may feel like you need something that from someone else, that you might need something from a human. And most of the time, the divine will, well, I would say 100% of the time, the divine is there for you. But you may not get a card read for you individually on these calls because I can only do so much. But if you, Rakesh, open up your heart to receive the readings as they come forward. I'm going through the stream myself and watching for the gratitudes. Okay. So, Rakesh, I did not see your gratitude. Hey, magnificent, beautiful. I'm so glad you're here. I love my bunny the most. Okay, so all I'm doing is going through the stream and I'm watching for the gratitudes, and that's the best that I can do. If you want to have any information about working with me in my group, I have a tarot group. You guys are all welcome. Just email me and I'll give you what I have for you. Okay, so Magnificent Success loves her bunny. And I appreciate that. And then, and let me just, okay. All right, so Magnificent, let's grab a card for you. Okay, it's Magnificent. We're looking today for something that is troubling you, something that's behind you. Maybe you're obsessing. You can't tell if you're supposed to let go of it or not. So, what we are having a lot of this new moon energy. And somebody asked me about Pisces before. We have a new moon in Pisces. So, I feel that the super moon, which was yesterday, as it was a super full moon, is absolutely here for us today. In all of its brightness, it is reminding us that it's traveling in a cycle to being turned off, that the full moon will be eclipsed by the earth, and it will be a new moon in just 2 weeks. So this has happened. How many of these? We've had several of these today. And I'm seeing this as a portal. I feel like today, the energy of letting go, whatever it is, you guys, that you're being called to let go, it's opening a portal that you're going to be so excited about by the new moon time. We can't imagine if you had a closet stuffed full of clothing. It was just stuffed. There were so many clothes in there, you could barely look at them. And then somebody gave you a big box of new clothes. You would have nowhere to put the blessing. This is exactly what it's like in your soul, in your human soul. There is a collection of old crap in our beings that come from our past experiences, our hurt feelings, our disappointments. the people who betrayed us, the people who told us one thing and then acted in a different way. These are all normal human behaviors. And yet some of us get so just upset and angry. How dare they treat me like that? Don't they know any better? Well, I will tell you, no, they don't. When I look at these two fish, the Pisces, and that they're just swimming in a circle, chasing each other's tail, there's no progress here. It's just the same old, same old. So for you, Magnificent, what is it that's calling you? What part of your skill set, what part of your relational development, and I would say this is true for every single person that's listening, let's use the energy of this supermoon, guys. Let's use it. What old habit do you want to get rid of? What is holding you back? The answer is in meditation and contemplation. Contemplating is thinking over what it is that you really want. So, Magnificent, write this down. What do I really want? That's all that you need to pay attention to, because I have a feeling there's some compromise going on and you've been spinning your wheels in one place. When we look at that little sliver of light that's coming out of the portal, again, I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my upper chest and at my throat again, which is where I sense a block in the throat chakra. So, Magnificent, don't be afraid of your own self. You know, speak the truth to yourself. What can you get rid of? I'm aware of these eyeballs on the fish. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think, Magnificent, there are 4 things that are ready to move out of your life. Spend some time alone with yourself. Do some journaling. See if you can pick out what those are. Okay? All right, so moving forward here. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, perfect. Okay. Oh, I love that you got a crystal chakra cross. Good for you. Okay. All right, going forward. And Janice, thank you so much for being here today. Have a beautiful, beautiful day at work. So when Archangel Apel is talking about smudging, that's when that's when you see me in the mornings. I'll light my Palo Santo wood, or I will use sage to bring the holy smoke into our world, because smudging is something that the ancients would use to cleanse their area, to cleanse what it is that they're doing. So Priyanka, welcome. I didn't see that you came in, my friend. Be sure to email me, Priyanka, because I have something for you, for your help. So please do reach over. And I would ask Rashika, has there anybody else been grateful for something that I've missed? Because we're coming to the end of our time. And so if there's anyone who needs to have a reading today about your ex or about whether you should go back, I'm here for you. Hi, Jessica, welcome. All we need is a gratitude, something that's working in your life, and then I'm happy to draw a card for you around your situation. We're working today with the energy of letting go, and we've had so many new moon cards come out, and I just know in my heart that what we're doing this next couple of weeks and how we manage our emotions is really going to create a great opening for love as it's coming forward. Jessica, loving the love from her family. Hi, Priya, welcome. Do you have a no contact in your life? Do you want something specific? So take a peek through your relationships. Who are you out of contact with? Thank you, Priya loves herself. So Priya will be next. Who is it you're out of contact with? Who is it that you wish there was a closer contact and you don't know what to do? This is what our card is for Miss Jessica. And we have the energy is gaining momentum. All right, so Jessica, you are going through a time of great spiritual growth. Now, my second candle just blew out at the same moment that I started your reading, all right? And I would say that you are gathering momentum for a change. All of these layers are all purple. A purple is the color of your divine relationship, your relationship with the divine. Look at how many layers, all the different colors of lavender. And then notice here, can you see a little bit of light in the future? So when it comes to you and your relationship, what it's showing is that the divine is very pleased that you are starting to open yourself to your divine being, that you're beginning to feel this is real. I really do have a spiritual self. I do have a beingness, a part of me that knows what's best for me. Your highest self is never worried or afraid, and your highest self knows what's best for you. Your personality, the small part of you, that's the part that's afraid of letting go and afraid of seeing the truth. That whatever's going on with your person, one of the problems, and there's too much dependency, there's too much putting all your hopes on the human, because the human part of us is not big enough to hold together a relationship. The only thing that can hold it together is our spiritual glue. So when your energy changed with your person, it was a good thing. Things were dark. It was not working. And while it's not working, you're just climbing the mountains of healing. You're going through all of these layers. See these birds flying. You're realizing, oh, yeah, that first person I broke up with, oh, brother, that was hard. And I remember they were so mean to me at school. Yeah, that was hard too. And the divine is bringing to your mind various spiritual experiences that have caused you to close your heart to love. And whatever this past person, it seemed there was a good connection there. But until you allow yourself the kind of spiritual development that you need, you're going to be in doubt about the humans in your life. So I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to bring in my lizard energy again. You may have heard me talk about this, where in the lizard, if they get their tail cut off, they grow a new one. They are the symbol of regeneration. The amethyst, a beautiful symbol of healing. So the energy is gaining momentum. You are growing a new tail. You are generating beautiful aha and wisdom about yourself and what you really need. So the advice is continue to do that work. Check out the description box for the soulmate generator, or just simply do some journaling, but allow yourself to process your hurt feelings before you go forward with the person, okay? And then we have Priya. Okay, excellent. Jessica, I'm so glad you could relate. It's so good. If you would like to be part of my community, Jessica, email me. I would love to invite you in. It's in WhatsApp, and it just gives me a chance to hang out with you guys and get to know one another and really help us lift our energy. So Priyanka, thank you so much for helping me out. And Priya Angel needs to move on from someone. So I am here for you. The sticky, isn't it true? We can kind of get like stuck to people, where we want to go on, we want to go farther, but something inside won't let it happen. So frustrating. Notice I've had 2 candles blow out. We have one more left. And Priya, I feel like this message for you is that you're doing well, you're doing good to try to move on, but there's a part of you that's holding the light on. And so what is your message here, my friend? And we have you and your loved ones are safe. All right. So again, we have another new moon coming out. Now, I don't know, there's 44 cards in this deck, and I know that they're not all new moons. But again, there's something very special about this energy right now, that we all need to take to heart. When we come to the new moon, it's a time of planting our new intentions. So even if you're sure that your ex is the right one for you, I can't tell. That's not what I'm here for. But what I'm here is to encourage you to look for what else you can develop while you're waiting, while you're in the gap. So when I see this crab for Cancer, what I think of is being crabby. In my language, in English, being crabby means being annoyed, frustrated, snarky. You know, if you're sarcastic or you're cold, those are all habits that come when you're crabby. And so the first message to you, Priya, is to realize that if you are attracting people who are crabby with you, okay, so let's say people are frustrated with you, you need to know that there's part of you that's radiating crabbiness. And even though you're a kind person and you try the best you can to keep your private life out of it, the reality is there's some final work you need to do about that ex. I know they broke your heart. I understand that it was difficult. Go to breakupcandy.com. That's a blog that I prepared, and it does have a lot of information about moving on. There's a quiz you can take there that can help you understand. In fact, in the description box, the quiz is there. It's called the Love Profile, and it's a fun quiz to take free of charge, and it'll help you understand why it's so hard for you to let go. The message from the universe here is you're safe without this person. Okay, that's the reality. This person is not for you. Now, what I say is this could be a timing issue. Maybe they're not right for you now, but they might be right for you later. We don't know. But many times when this card comes out, the person getting the reading will say, well, they're married. Well, duh, they're not available, right? And to hold on to that as if it's your relationship, that will make you very crabby. And your family and your loved ones will sense how out of balance you are. So the truth is, walking away from this person with all these legs, this is a walking card. Have you ever watched a crab walk? They go backwards. It's really pretty bizarre. Plus, they go fast. So you and your loved ones are safe. It's best off for you to leave this person behind forever, right? Because all we have is today. That's it. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. And you don't want to waste one more breath on someone who you felt unsafe with. Be honest with yourself. You are better off without this person. Okay, you guys, I need to wrap it up. It's been 90 minutes already. I'm always so shocked how quickly it goes here. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. No. So I thank you so much for coming, for being with me this morning. Once again, if you're interested in a private reading, it's very easy to arrange that. You can go to this website. It'll tell you all about it. Meanwhile, I come back every day for live readings just like this, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you for your patience and your love. Also, I just crossed over 18,000 followers, you guys. Whoa, I am so happy to know that so many people are tuning in. Thank you guys for sharing my work, for hitting the thumbs up, for writing to me. Bring me ideas. What would you like to see me do readings about? And just know how dear you are to my heart. So go forth and prosper, my wonderful friends, and I look forward to seeing you on the next live. Bye now. I'll blow out the last candle. Bye. See you tomorrow.